Hello, my name's Andrew Godsoe. I've recently been started doing some YouTube videos. If you mostly about my writing. If you've seen some of them before, you'll know that they're pretty much unscripted, and I try to put a bit of humour in. Today's one, which I literally only just decided about 2 minutes ago what to write about, is something a little bit more serious. But as I record this, it's November the 23rd. Now, today is the anniversary of the publication of my first book, which was published in 1989, which, if I've got it right, well, 28 years ago. It's a long time. The book was called A History of the Conservative Party, and a few people thought it was, well, it's a book about the Conservative Party. People just tended to assume it might be a favourable book about the Conservative Party. A couple of years later, a couple of years ago, I republished it, updated it, and with a new title. And here is the front cover of the book. And as you can see, as I turn it around so I can read, if I just read, I don't know how clear that will be on the screen, but if I just read what it says on the front cover, the title is, it starts at the top. It says, "You might be voting soon, so now is a good time to read Why Not Trust the Conservatives by Andrew Godsoe. This critical investigation of the Conservative Party is written in the radical tradition of Guilty Men and Why Not Trust the Tories." Now, Guilty Men was a book written by a group of authors, one of whom was Michael Foot, at the start of the Second World War, and it told the story of the terrible events of the Tory appeasement of fascism, which led Britain, eventually, when the Second World War started, Britain was pretty much unprepared for the war because a lot of the Tories thought the fascists were their friends. I know it might be a controversial opinion, but there's a lot of documentary evidence that basically they basically saw fascism was going to rescue capitalism from communism. But I digress a bit. Yeah, and sorry, the other book I mentioned on the front cover is Why Not Trust the Tories, which was written by Aneurin Bevan in the early 1950s, not long after he, as Minister of Health, had introduced the National Health Service, one of the great achievements of the post-war Labour government, and something that the Tories voted against and fought tooth and nail to actually stop. And they still hate the Conservatives. Still, a lot of them hate the NHS and the idea of the socialist principles behind it, and the fact that it works and it's a system paid for out of taxation, available free at the point of use for everybody. Now, if I just turn over the back of the book, again, if I hold it up there, and then if I just turn it around and read what it says, "Why not trust the Conservatives? Here are some recent answers. Tax cuts for the rich, austerity for the majority, mass unemployment, crisis in the National Health Service, indecision over Europe, friendly links with UKIP. There are many lessons from Tory history in this book, stretching from the era of the rotten boroughs and two nations, through economic crisis and appeasement of fascism, to the nightmare of Thatcherism, followed by the deception of we're all in this together." So basically, that sets out what basically the approach I take. And the book is a history of the Conservatives right through from when they were formed in 1830 through to the eve of the 2015 general election. He hesitates a little bit. I haven't looked at it for a while. Yes, I remember right. Yes, it was just it came out just before the 2015 general election. So I've just hesitating whether to do a reading from it at the moment or whether to come back another day. Anyway, I thought that's sorry, I'm hesitating a bit here. I'll flick through. Yeah, I think I'll leave it for there for now, and I'll come back hopefully sometime soon with a bit more about the book and the political passions behind it and my ongoing critique of the Conservative Party. Thank you for watching. Good night.